The Stoic does not seek to control others, only himself. But in a world where manipulation is masked as charm and toxicity wears the face of friendship, this task becomes more sacred than ever. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca never used the term toxic people, but they understood them. They knew the power of detachment, boundaries, and silence. They knew that not everyone deserves access to your inner peace. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." And yet, we allow toxic people to infect our minds because we cling to the opinion that we must be liked, that we must explain, that we must stay. But here lies the Stoic truth. Your peace is not a public property. It is a fortress. And to protect that fortress, you do not need to argue. You do not need to convince. You only need to say this once, clearly, and without emotion. This is not acceptable. Then you walk away. This phrase, said once without rage or resentment, is the sword that cuts through manipulation. You do not scream it. You do not cry it. You say it as you would state the weather. Calm, final, absolute. The Stoic knows. The moment you begin to explain yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, you lose. Let your words be few, your tone calm, your boundary firm. Say it once, then observe. Toxic people thrive on reaction. Deny them that, and they fade like shadows at sunrise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." This was not a denial of reality. It was an assertion of power. When you say, "This is not acceptable," you're not making a request. You're stating a truth. And then you must detach. Let go of whether they accept it. Let go of their response. Let go of the illusion that your peace depends on their behavior. Toxic people use a simple weapon, your own emotional investment. They bait you into caring, reacting, defending. The Stoic diffuses this by practicing what modern minds would call strategic indifference. You do not need revenge. You do not need closure. You do not need them to understand. You only need to remain unmoved. When a storm passes through the forest, the mountain does not chase it. It remains. So too must you. The act of saying, "This is not acceptable," is not the beginning of a conversation. It is the end of the contract. It is the removal of your consent. Anything that follows, excuses, insults, bargaining, is noise. Let it pass. If you respond, do so only once, with silence. A Stoic does not wait until the fire consumes the house to act. He observes the first smoke. He notices the first signs of corrosion in character. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. But what of those who drain, diminish, or degrade? You do not hate them. You do not curse them. You simply see them clearly and act." Toxic people often come in pleasing forms. Their first weapon is charm. Their second is guilt. Their third is confusion. You feel it in your body before you understand it in your mind. The tension, the fatigue, the erosion of clarity. The Stoic does not second-guess what the body knows. He trusts it. He does not call it overreacting. He calls it wisdom. To recognize toxicity early is to prevent the corrosion of character. It is not selfish. It is self-respect. And so when you speak your boundary, you do it early. You do not wait for proof. You do not wait for collapse. You say, "This is not acceptable." And in that moment, you do not merely protect yourself. You teach others how to treat you. Or you teach them that they will not treat you at all. To a Stoic, boundaries are not emotional outbursts. They are moral duties. To allow someone to repeatedly cross you, violate your values, or drain your peace is not kindness. It is negligence. Marcus Aurelius held this view firmly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The toxic person who challenges your peace is not just an obstacle. They are an opportunity to clarify, to act, to honor your integrity. You do not scream, "Respect me." You say calmly, "This is not acceptable." And then you act accordingly. No threats, no manipulation. Just truth followed by aligned action. You are not responsible for their reaction, only your standard. Toxic people may call you cold, arrogant, or selfish. Let them. A boundary is only offensive to those who benefited from your lack of it. Your job is not to be understood. Your job is to be whole. Let your boundaries be like the laws of nature, firm, silent, and immovable. Epictetus warned, when someone irritates you, it is your own response that is problematic. The Stoic answer to provocation is not escalation, it is reduction. Say your truth once, then fall silent. Why? Because repetition signals uncertainty, emotion signals weakness, and debate signals permission. Toxic people live in the space between your words and your actions. They search for gaps in tone, in doubt, in compromise. Close those gaps. Say your truth once. Say it without heat. Then leave. Or stay silent. But never explain what your piece has already spoken. A single phrase, said with conviction, carries more force than 1,000 justifications. This is not acceptable. Then you show them it's true. By stepping back, stepping out, or stepping away. The Stoic does not defend his boundary, he embodies it. And in doing so, the toxic person, who thrives on confusion, disappears. The Stoic seeks justice, not revenge. And sometimes justice is simply your absence. Seneca wrote, "He who does not prevent a crime when he can, encourages it." Likewise, tolerating toxicity in silence is complicity. But revenge, that is poison taken in hope of hurting another. Your power lies in your peace. When you remove yourself, you deny them fuel. When you remain silent, you offer no theater. They may speak ill of you. Let them. The Stoic does not answer every lie. He lives his truth. And in time, that truth stands. You need not destroy the toxic person. You only need to deny them the stage. Do not gossip. Do not slander. Do not relive the conflict in your mind. That is bondage. Let them fade like a bad echo in an empty hall. The Stoic walks away not to hurt, but to heal. When all is said and done, your calm is your reply. Your life, aligned and unshaken, is your answer. Your refusal to engage is your victory. Marcus Aurelius closed many of his meditations with reminders of death. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Would you waste your final days in debate with broken minds? Would you explain your worth to those who do not care to see it? Number, you would say, "This is not acceptable." Then you would live, quietly, freely, firmly. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You don't need approval. You need only one thing: peace. Say it once. Then let them disappear into the silence they tried to disturb, but could never own.